Good morning. The time now is 5:32 a.m. Today is Friday, April 29th, 2022. So I was woken up at 4:41. So it's been an hour since I was rudely and abruptly waking out of my sleep, being sodomized by something I cannot see. And I been trying to figure out how can I stop this energy or whatever this is, these people using this technology to rape me. The last 4 years I've been being raped by humans using technology. So I've been praying and asking God to help me. I looked up scriptures about being raped, and there was quite a few scriptures. I got to see how many did I read. There's 28 scriptures in the Bible that's talking about being raped. So I read all 28 that I think I did. And I was talking to God about, what his word say. God tell you, to turn away from your wicked ways. He'll heal your land. And he'll heal your life. So I just talked to God and I told God, what his word say. And that I can't remember what I said. I gotta try to remember what God said. Um, I do know. I remember saying, let the Lord know His word that He said He's not a man that He shall lie, and that His word would not go back to Him void. So I began to read scripture on rape, and I'm asking the Lord to let His word manifest in my life because I'm not seeing it. I'm just not seeing His word being manifested in my life. So I started looking up how to, let me see what I looked up. How can I stop, how to stop remote neural monitoring. How to stop, okay, this is what I asked. How to stop remote neural monitoring from raping you. And so, okay, I saw this. I'm going to read some of these. Okay, this is gang stalking worldwide. Victims that have experienced are experiencing gang stalking. It's Quora, Quora. This is the site, but I don't see a name here. So I'm seeing John Rock, degrees in business, Bible, and theology. And it say Google Dave Case, which I have Dave Case CD, which is what I've been listening to for the last 4 years. And it say it works, but you have to follow the idiot-proof instructions. But I didn't have no instructions, so I don't know what this is talking about. They say the people that claim it doesn't work never follow the instructions. Always use error. Always user error. Laziness or incompetence is the obstacle to not stopping the remote neural monitoring, but I didn't get any instructions. They get our biometrics. So this is how they are raping us by our biometrics. This is why they use their phone, their cell phone, always coming around you with their cell phone putting in numbers
Okay, let me see.
and attack us based upon the biometric. And if you don't change your biometric, they will attack you based upon your biometric. So we are in total control to not be in remote neural monitoring. The Druze are another story which there is little defense against, like stopping a bullet. Unless we are in an underground bunker, the Druze will affect us to some extent. Handheld, see that's what that man had. That's what I said. They were the first people to attack me. When I came over here, he had something in his hand, and it was red, and it was coming in through my window. Handheld cell phone tower, satellites, drones, are hidden remote controlled devices in our attics. That's why they be up in our ceilings, planting stuff up there. There's little defense against it. So I'm not the only one that having to deal with this. People always want to ask you, well, how they get up there? Like we supposed to know what they doing. If we know what they were doing, we can stop it. But this guy didn't tell me they cut some place up in your roof, and they try to get up in your ceiling. And I did see them fix in the house. The other house that we moved from, there was a house where there was a bunch of women always be there. And I did see them fixing the top of their house. They didn't fix the whole roof, just like in the back part of the roof. I seen them doing that. But all the other houses around us got brand new roofs on it. But they didn't get a brand new roof. They had put some kind of blue thing on top of it. So they probably didn't even fix the roof. They probably just put something to keep it from raining inside the house, which I think they're doing that here because you can see light coming from the roof, but it don't rain in here. So they got something up there, but I couldn't get nobody to help me. It's sad when you can't get nobody to help you. Everybody out like just scared to death to do anything to help you. This is David Johnson. Said more people are dealing with this than you would think. Seattle is just one of many cities where this is happening. He got some kind of GameStop and private security spills on program. I haven't gone on that site yet. I'm gonna read some more of these the different people talking about the remote neural monitoring. It's IDK, which I guess said I don't know. But yes, I have, and I don't think you can stop it. We can't stop all the migraines, the rolling, all the pain they bring on my spine, which is what they're doing to me. They attack my spine every night. Our heart racing uncomfortably. Just pray and keep your head up. They going through this person. This is Tommy Rogers. They going through the same thing. This is a man. So somebody is sodomizing a man. This is some sick stuff. And I really I pray for the wrath of God to come off. Because that's what the word say. And I'm gonna go back and read those scriptures. Uh, you could be dealing with demons. They do that. Yeah, demons do that, but these are not demons. This is human demons. Yeah, they are demons. Yes, they are demons. they're human demons. They do that. If you have accepted Christ as your Savior, demons can possess you. These are not demons, these are people. And all the energy in our backyard. And I'm going to record that too. You see all that energy. Some of it look like faces, so I know this is remote neural monitoring. It's coming from, this is why all the people be back there. Because they just nasty. I felt like I was violently woken up tonight and last night. I mean violently. I felt really violent being raped from my rectum. And it's sickening. It just feels sickening. This is Aaron Esco related. Is it true that they use a system called remote neural monitoring to track target individuals? They shoot targets with GPS microchip. Yeah, I got it all in my arms and stuff. All right. I got something right here in my forehead. It gets in our skin. With that guns, once they implanted all their chips, they now pretend they're God to the person, when in reality just sleazy babysitters that prey on people for sexual reasons and just here to make sure you never actually live your life. So it is GPS microchips that they're using, shooting in our skin. So this person here know what I'm going through. Just to go out on our porch right there, or just open. I don't even have to go out there. Just open the door, and I get shot at. And I got a video that proved that it's still in the house. Had these stepped outside, and you can hear the guns, the taps, tap 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 tap. And that's how fast it goes. Tap 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 tap. Because it's under our skin. This is divine. How can a targeted individual being harassed with B2K and remote neural monitoring get help? Updating, we all should helpfully learn daily. I don't know what this WTF stands for, to do. The advice given in 2019 was from a real tech hot dog who worked under clearance with the U.S. government, and Rayleton. I don't know what that means. Among Rayleton is Rayleton. That must be some type of company. Among others, I was only given advice between jobs. What I want to add is this: when this first happened to me, I assumed it was second-rate hiking by a woman who decided she wasn't happy with her life and took it upon herself to grab the serving spoon to my dish. Serving spoon to my dish, and in part of I was right. She was a recruiter with a team of her own also. I quite, I quite literally had no idea, and I mean zero, how to do Jack SHIT on a computer, phone, or anything else. So I was bamboozled, freaked, a bit and determined to kick her, you know what, legally. What ended up happening was me learning WTF, I don't know what that is. I had got my blank self into it. After a couple of months of blank bull, you know what, I called the police. They rolled their eyes in a report. Second call, I was handed a card, FBI ICP3 site to report hiking. Very official, very thorough. I followed through, and they doing a lot of cussing. Effing bam. It gets worse. I was literally signing up for LifeLock, and my laptop popped up and said LifeLock just got hacked. And that's really just a teeny daily occurrence. The blank that I went through for the last almost 9 years is honestly office draw movie SHIT. So when things kicked up a bit, I found out that there was a pilot office for the FBI right down the road from my house in the top floor of the local bank. Needless to say, I was still in kick her you know what mood. So I marched on down there with my stack of hacked evidence and determination, only to be met by 2-foot thick steel doors and a button pad to buzz yourself in if you have a code. So it's just a bunch of technology where you got this is CSI Apple. You got just they're not gonna officially not gonna happen because they the one who's doing it. He got a lot of stuff. I don't want to read all this stuff. I mean, a lot of good gracious. I'll be here all night trying to read all this. So I'm gonna go to somebody else. Evidently, they didn't get no help. If any of you involved with the state of Michigan and the persecution of this ridiculous and cruel practice, have any advice for some of us folks, please. We didn't get no help. Okay, this is Tracy Chris Chrysler. What can you do if people you can't see push you on remote neural monitoring? Wow, Prodigy, and see these people are really they going to hell because you can't tell me they're not doing this to my sister who can't do nothing for herself. They doing this to her, and this is why she keeps her hand down in her private part all the time because some no good, low life piece of crap of a maggot is doing this to her, messing in her private area, and she don't know. I hate to tell her business, but I just got to let it be known how these people is so they need to somebody need to electrocute them. That's what they need to be put in a chair, put something upside their head, and electrocute them. That's what they need because I would walk in her room, her legs be up in the air, and I kept telling her to stop doing that so her knees won't get locked, but her knees are locked because these no good piece of crap maggots doing this to her and got her seeing. I think she be seeing them because she be looking straight up up in the ceiling. So she is looking at something that these no good devils, maggots, are doing to her. I mean, they need prison. They really need to go to prison. And the sheriff department, the head sheriff, whoever's behind this, whoever's behind all this, they need to be locked up. and never see daylight ever again. But this is sick, real sick. While Project Orion had timid result in this subject. Okay. In this subject, this was also attempted by MK Ultra, and as it stands, the US and Russia do have satellites that could mess with your brain, but mainly by melting it. Radio waves could, in theory, affect your noggin the same way that lasers tweaked the frequency that radio broadcasts would be at to make people both more depressed and hostile. But they could not directly control you. But Elon Musk has a new brainchild called Neuralink, which does open a door for that possibility. These people are really some sick people, I tell you. Cameron Patrice. What device could somebody be using in order to know exactly what the person living directly below is doing, no matter which room they are in? They can be heard discussing the person activity. That's a V2K right there, what that person talking about. I pretended to be asleep before to do this. Kind of said I had to, but it let me know who my true friends were. Let's see this question here say, gang stalkers admit that they are gang stalkers are rather they than ever admitting that they gang stalkers are most of them far more likely to claim. No, they're not gonna claim it. They ain't even gonna claim it. This is some sick stuff, really. But one thing I was reading, it was saying to change your biometrics. So I would ask the question, how do you change your biometrics? They never did tell me how you can change your biometrics. So I don't know how you can change your biometrics. They just was talking about your biometrics is like your fingerprints, your brain wave, your heartbeat, your eyes, your iris in your eyes. This is why they always pointing their cell phone at you, clicking you with their cell phones. They're always coming around with your cell phones. And that's why I was wondering, are these people prostituting us by letting people come in and buy using the remote neural monitoring? That's why every time I go outside, they going outside with their cell phones, picking up me. And they got this stuff on their cars. They always got their lights on. I guess their lights, like with their lights on all the time, is sending that energy out in the atmosphere. If I go out there in it, it's picking me up. And then they spraying crap on my skin. And this stuff coming out from under the floor. It's layering stuff on my skin. Well, I can't even sleep, get no sleep. But they were saying, Dave, I got that's the CD that I use. This I got this CD, but it do help with the sound, but it's not stopping uh, this energy from coming up through the floor. And I had took a pan of and put up under my chair that I sleep in. I filled it up with water, and at first I could kind of was helping me. But once I fell asleep, I woke up. I feel like I'm violently being raped, violently being sodomized, violently. And it's been over an hour, and I'm still feeling where they were violently raping me. It's now 5:58 a.m. and I've been up ever since. Well, I think it was, did I say 4:41? Just when I woke up, violently being raped by something I cannot see. It's not no demon. It's somebody. These are people, human beings, using technology to rape you. And I moved a few times. When I move, I actually can feel it following me, the energy following me, and then I start feeling it going, repeat itself. Last night I went in my bedroom and I took my chair in my bedroom and they followed me in my bedroom. It seemed like it would be a demon because this other girl that I know, this been going on with her too for years. This started happening to me. Uh, this been over 6 years because I've been up in this area for 6 years. But before I moved here, someone was attacking me. Someone was attacking me and attacking my stomach, had me going to the doctor. I'm thinking I'm having medical problem, but these doctors, they know that you're not having medical problem. They know you having technology attacks. And she was having the same problem, but she think it's her sister-in-law, and that these are demons. And I try to tell her, no, this is technology. So I think she's involved in it now. I just got that feeling that she is a gang stalker now. But it's like they mimicking demons, but it's not demons. They want you to think it's demons, but yeah, they are demons. They demonic, possess people, human beings, using technology to rape people. So that evidently they go to show they are rapists, and they will, if they could get away with physically raping you, they would. If they could physically rape you and get away with it, they would. Now, they probably already done raped some people. So I got to kind of figure out how can you change your biometrics, because this is what they attacking, our biometrics. So in order for them to go into our private area, whoever is turning in our biometrics is probably someone that we have been sexually. That's why they sit in these honeypots around, so that you'll have sexual relationships and they can get your internal juices. Yeah, I reckon I can say it like that. So that they can put that into the system. And that's why they're able to attack us in our private area. That's why they want you to be seduced or raped. That's what really what happens when men seduce women. They just rape them. So I must study more on biometrics because I know what they're saying, but I'm not understanding how to change it. How can you change your biometrics? I'm not understanding that. What can you do to change your biometrics? And if anybody have answers to that question, please put it in the where you where you can communicate with me. How can we change our biometrics? Can we change our biometrics? That's a question right there. Um, he was saying that Dave Case gave us instructions, but I didn't get instructions. The only thing that I remember reading was that I could make a copy of the CD, which I tried to do that, but he was saying what type of CD player that you can make a copy of the CD, but I couldn't find it. I couldn't find one. There was some of the old timey CD players. I don't think they even buy or sell them anymore. Where you can put the CD in a case and then put a blank one in it. That's the only thing I remember seeing about changing your biometrics. But I don't even know how you can change your biometrics. But we got to help each other, do some researching and figure out how we can do this. Because this is terrible. When you being raped, if I want to have sex, I know how to get me a man that I can feel on, I can grab on, but I don't want sex. I made a choice, and I should be able to keep my whatever I choose is where I should be able to live. I don't need some little punk. Cause that's what these are, little dang old punks raping me. That's why the men probably be over there at their house all the time trying to pick up my biometrics. That's why they be using them lights to pick me up, coming through my windows. You got this old man, he just can't walk good, going over there trying to pick up my biometrics. Which I don't have no problem with him being old, but if I want a man in my life, I know how to get one. I'm very capable of at least spending my time with one. He might not love me, but at least I can spend my time with him if that's what I want. But I don't want it. That's why I don't have nobody. And ain't trying to get nobody. They really was attacking me really bad because now I got this stuff coming out of me. And see, that's what they want because I had made a statement that this my kombucha, me by me drinking kombucha, had stopped all that information from coming out of my belly, but my stomach is still swollen. It's still swollen because this stuff got radiation connected to it. And this radiation is what's blowing me up. I really need some sleep, but I don't even want to. So I said I'm going to read them scriptures. Let me read them. Let me see if I still got them up here. But I didn't read all of it. I just read to the point that they had posted. It's 2 Samuel 13, verse 14. However, he would not listen to her, since he was stronger than she. He violated her and laid with her. That's 2 Samuel 13, verses 14. Zechariah 14 and 2. I will gather all the nations against Jerusalem to battle, and the city will be captured. The houses plundered, the women ravished, and half of the city exiled. But the rest of the people will not be cut off from the city. Deuteronomy 22, verses 25 through 29. But if in the field the man finds the girl who is engaged, and the man forces her and lies with her, then only the man who lies with her shall die. But you shall not do nothing to the girl. There is no sin in the girl worthy of death. But just as a man rises against his neighbor and murder him, so is this case. When he found her in the field, the engaged girl cried out, but there was no one to save her. That man that raped her should be put to death. That's according to the Old Testament law. Okay, Ephesians 5 and 25. Husbands, love your wives, just as Christ also loved the church and gave himself up for her. Now, this is not really talking about rape, but he's telling men how to love their wives. And I guess what he's saying is, love your wife enough not to force yourself on her, but to lovingly love her. Because you got some men, if a woman don't want to have sex, he'll just force himself on her because he wants, he thinks she's supposed to be. But the Bible do tell us that our bodies don't belong to us. Once we get married, our bodies belong to our husband. Our husband's bodies belong to the wife. In Genesis 12 and 20, Genesis 12 verses 18 through 20. Then Pharaoh called Abram and said, what is this you have done to me? Why did you not tell me that she was your wife? Why did you say she is my sister, so that I took her for my wife? Now then, here is your wife. Take her and go. Pharaoh commanded his men concerning him, and they escorted him away with his wife and all that belongs to him. Abraham really put Sarah in a predicament because of his fear. 1 Peter 3 and 7. You husbands, in the same way, live with your wives in an understanding way, as with someone weaker, since she is a woman, and show her honor as a fellow heir of the grace of life, so that your prayers will be hindered. Wait so that your prayers will not be hindered. Okay, I think I had said that right from the beginning. 2 Samuel 13, because your wife is why you get the way you treat your wife help you get your prayers answered, because she is what's the word they use, um, your good thing. I'll put it like that. Your wife is your good thing and helps you get your prayers answered when you are a good husband, because she is the daughter of the Most High God. Tamar put ashes on her head and tore her long sleeve garment which was on her, and she put her hand on her head and went away crying aloud as she went. Then Absalom, her brother, said to her, has Amnon, your brother, been with you? He raped her. He raped his own sister. But now keep silent, my sister. He is your brother. Do not take this matter to heart. So Tamar remained and was desolate in her brother Absalom's house. This dude was really sick, and he was had a depression, a strange desire to have sex with his own sister, and then he raped her. And after he raped her, he like detested her. After he done raped her, she was a virgin. Genesis 34 verses 6 to 7. Then Haman, the father of Shechem, went out to Jacob to speak with him. Now the son of Jacob came in from the field when they heard it, and the men were grieved, and they were very angry because he had done a disgraceful thing in Israel by lying with Jacob's daughter. For such a thing ought not be done. They set him up big time and killed him because they had sex. This man had sex with his sister, their sister. But he did want to, after was still, he shouldn't did what he did. Even though he wanted to marry her, but see, if she would have married a man that would force himself on her, that's what he gonna even after she married him, he'll keep forcing himself on her because he didn't respect her in the first place. Judges 19 verses 26 through 28. As the day began to dawn, the woman came and fell down at the doorway of the man's house where her master was until full daylight. When her master arose in the morning and opened the doors of the house and went out to go on his way, then behold, his concubine was laying at the doorway of the house with her hands on the threshold. He said to her, get up and let's go. But there was no answer. Then he placed her on the donkey, and the man rose and went to his home. Now I remember reading this story, and I think this guy was a Levite, and he was had a this woman was his concubine, and she left to go to her father's house, but she didn't never come back, and so he went looking for her. And when he got there, they were men from the Benjamite tribe wanted to rape him just like the men in Sodom and Gomorrah did with the angels. And so the father was telling him the same thing that Lot did. He had a daughter that, you can take my daughter and do what you want to do with her, but not to mess with the man. So they took the woman and raped her all night, and they raped her so much until she died. They did take her back home. They just left her outside, and when she died. And so the Levite took her back home and cut her in 12 pieces and gave her body out to the tribe of Israel. They came against the Benjamites, and I'm trying to think, did they cut them off from the tribe? It's been a long time since I read that story. I might need to go back and do a study upon it. But anyway, okay, so he was a Levite. Oh, there it is right there. So the Levite, the husband of the woman who was murdered, answered and said, I came with my concubine to spend the night at Agabi, which belonged to Benjamin. But the men of Gabi rose up against me and surrounded the house at night because of me. They intended to kill me. Instead, they ravished my concubine so that she died. So we got the other Israelites to come in against the Benjamite, and they destroyed the tribe of Benjamin. Genesis 34, verses 7 to 31. Now the sons of Jacob came in from the field. It's the same one. From the field, they had heard it, and the men were grieved, and they were very angry because he had done a disgraceful thing in Israel by lying with Jacob's daughter. For such a thing ought not be done. But Haman spoke with them, saying, the soul of my son Shisham longs for your daughter. Please give her to him in marriage. Intermarry with us, give your daughter to us, and take our daughters for yourself. So what they did, set up circumcision. That, in order for them to be a part of them, they had to get circumcised because of the law. But when they circumcised the men, they went in and killed them because the men couldn't fight because they was in pain. Okay, Judges 26 to 11. And I took hold of my concubine and cut her in pieces and sent her throughout the land of Israel inheritance. For they had committed a lewd and disgraceful act in Israel. Behold, all you sons of Israel, give your advice and counsel here. Then all the people arose as one man, saying, not one of us will go to his tent, nor will any of us return to his house. And they were saying it because they was coming against the Benjamites. Okay, Romans 12 and 19. Never take your own revenge, beloved, but leave. I don't know why I'm getting where I be hungry in the morning. My stomach is just having hungry pain. So they got to be them control because I don't eat. I normally don't eat breakfast in the morning. And I don't be hungry in the morning. So this is something they doing. Okay, never take your own revenge, beloved, but leave room for the wrath of God. This is what I was reminding God of his word. For it is written, vengeance is mine, I will repay, says the Lord. And this is what I was, reminding God of his own word, that these people that's raping and sodomizing me, I want justice. And I pray and I ask that he will manifest in my life. And he will manifest in my life when these people are doing this evil, this defilement to my body. Romans 13, 3 and 4. For rulers are not a cause of fear for good behavior, but for evil. Do you want to have no fear of authority? Do you do what is good, and you will have praise from the same, for it is a minister of God to you for good. But if you do what is evil, be afraid, for it does not bear the sword for nothing. For it is a minister of God, an avenger who brings wrath on the one who practices evil. So this is what I was praying and asking God for, because these people are pure evil and wicked, pure to the purest of demonicness. For the anger of God, for the anger of man does not achieve the righteousness of God. Genesis 34 and 1 through 3. Now Dana, the daughter of Leah, whom she had born to Jacob, went out to visit the daughters of the land. When Shisham, the son of Haman, the Hivite, the prince of the land, saw her, he took her and lay with her by force. He was deeply attracted to Dana, the daughter of Jacob, and he loved the girl and spoke tenderly to her. Okay, Judges 19, 24 and 25. Here is my virgin daughter, and his concubine. Please let me bring them out that you may ravish them. And this is the father talking. The girl that was married to the Levite. This is her father willing to give her up to the men. Whatever you wish, but do not. Okay, goodbye. Please let me bring them out that you may ravish them and do to them whatever you wish, but do not commit such an act of folly against this man. But the men who would not listen to him, so the man seized his concubine and brought her out to them, and they raped her and abused her all night until morning. Then let her go at the approach of dawn. But they let her go too late because they had them killed with rape. I'm not going to read the rest of it, but there's a lot of uh, scriptures um, on rape. So we got to figure this thing out so we can get out from under the devil's um, hands. But that's what they are, good devils. And they'll just surround you just just so that they can get. See, that's what makes it so bad. These cops and these sheriffs, they know what type of people to get that'll do this demonic stuff. And see, some of these men is married men, and their wives know what they're doing. What kind of women? There's no way on this earth, no way I ever be desperate for a husband, a boyfriend, or anything that have a man that would do this type of thing. There's no way I would have one. There's no way if I, to have a man that would disrespect someone else so bad. There's no way I would have him. He couldn't wake up, look at me in my face. I'm not that desperate for a man. I'm just not. And to have one that'll want to destroy somebody else's life, there's no way. So it is now 6:25 a.m. I'm going to stop this video. I just pray that maybe I can get somebody put it on YouTube uh, what I had asked, because I didn't get the information off YouTube, and maybe someone would explain to me. Someone got a video on YouTube that'll explain and help us get out from under these people remote neural monitoring. So I'm going to say good morning and have a blessed day.